Ever feel like watercolor just isn't working? In this video, I'm going to show you a super simple paint hack using watercolor tubes that will completely change the way you paint, even if you're a beginner. So today we're going to be working on a new technique that I saw over on Ali Milan's YouTube channel, where she took paint directly out of the tube and used it as almost like a marker to make marks. So I thought it was really cool. So we're going to try that today. I've got the Payne's Gray, the Liquid Umber, and the Sepia Brown watercolors from Schminke and Cotmans. And we're going to give this technique a try. I think it's going to be pretty fun. Let's get started. First thing we're going to do is spritz our paper just a little bit. You want some water in spots so that the watercolor can pick up that on the paper. I am working on hot press paper today on a watercolor block. I'll leave the link to that in the description. So let's start off with our Payne's Gray. What we're going to do is we're just going to start making some marks with the watercolor. Just drawing our landscape using the end of the watercolor tube to make marks as well. You don't want to squeeze too hard here. Watercolor comes out really fast. So we're just going to start with these marks. Okay, now I'm going to come in with my Hake brush, or Hakey brush, however you pronounce it. And we're just going to put some more water up here at the top. We kind of just want this to flow upwards and kind of give us a moody sort of feel about it. Oh, I like that. I'm going to come in with maybe, I think I'm going to come in with this brush. Kind of nudge it up a little bit so that we get some more shapes going through there. I might want to bring, I don't know. Maybe I want to bring just a little bit of this up through here. We're going to tilt it, let it do its thing. I don't want I want a soft line up here. I don't want it to be too stark. You see we've already got some really nice things going on there. Let's come in with our palette knife and just make some marks. A little mark in the sky. Personal preference. We can also scrape down a little bit if we want to do that and make those interesting marks. Maybe come back in a little bit. Let's bring in, I think I need more water down here. Let's come in with the Liquid Umber and do the same thing. This is just a really fun way to get out of your comfort zone and create some really bold marks really fast. Quick wins, if you will. Don't be scared. It's actually really freeing and fun. I know we've all been talking about how we can, if we're stuck or we can't figure out what we want to make, this is just a really easy way to get paint down quickly, to make it blend together on the page, which is always wonderful, I think. Bring some of that down a little bit. Let's come back in with color with the palette knife. Drag some of that blue down too. I'm going to scrape up some of this over here. Make sure our marks are good. We can make some, bring that blue down to kind of make it make more sense and work together a little bit better. I want to, I'm going to jump it down there. Let's add some sepia in. And this, like I said, it's a really fun way to get marks down quickly. You can see already we have makings of a pretty interesting piece. Let's come in with Color Shaper a little wet. I'll just pull that down a little bit. I love working with the color shaper, and the watercolor gives us such really interesting marks. I have a lot of blue on it. I want these shapes to be more organic, so I'm just kind of coming back in. Adding some brush marks is always fun, which you can do very well with the Hake brush. Oh, I like that. I like that. It kind of softens the whole thing up a little bit. Let's do, I like that dark sepia right there. I think that's really cool. So yeah, really fun way to just make some marks in our work. I'm going to bring a little bit more of that sepia through here because I really like how bold that is. Now, it will use up your paint, and you're probably going to go through a little bit more paint using this method, but the paint's there to be used. So, okay, I like what we got going on here. Let's come in with a little bit of the Bark Inktense, and I want to make a mark coming through here. Just want to add some of this. This bark color has a little bit of a purplish tint to it, and it really adds nicely into what we've got going on here. Maybe that mark comes down just a little bit through here. Well, that's nice. Might want to scrape in a little bit. We could add a little bit of water and kind of get that color running a little bit so we get more of that purpley color going through there. Sort of a different mark. And then make it a little bit more stark down here at the bottom. Just having fun putting down colors and marks. We can also scrape back in to bring out some of those colors underneath if we want. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry and then we'll come back and see what we can do next. I think I want to do a little bit more of the ochre color through here. I'm just gonna put down a little bit more. Come in with our color shaper. Gonna make some marks through here. I want a little bit more water maybe through there. So don't be afraid to add water. Don't be afraid to go over areas that you maybe don't like. Don't be afraid to add marks. I really love the scraping back in. I'm gonna want that to come over here a little bit. A little bit too much water. I think I want some more of this bark color. Just kind of coming through here a little bit. What happens if we kind of blend it out with the color shaper? Oh, that's fun. I like how it's blending with that watercolor underneath. Maybe a little bit more over here. I like this white space through here. I'm gonna add a few more marks through here because we can. always take the opportunity to add more marks to your mixed media work. I think that's where it really, at least for me, that's where it really comes through as being different. Okay. Okay, I'm going to come in with some oil pastels. I've got a few colors over here. The black we're not going to use just yet, but I think this ochre color will be really fun. And my idea here is not to cover up, but just to enhance our mixed media piece with a little bit of this color. I love the scratching back in here because we can see the colors underneath. You could do this with Caran d'Ache. You could do it with your oil, water mixable oil or oil paint. If you put down a layer of gesso before you do this, you don't have to do that with them with the oil pastels. They will be okay just being on the watercolor. They're not as oily. But if you want to, that's fine too. I just don't. I probably should, but I don't. But look how fun that is. That just adds a little bit of color through there without it being overbearing. So we probably want to put a little bit more, maybe some marks through here. Love working with the oil pastels in this way over the watercolor. I think it just adds to the texture of the piece and the mixed media nature. We can add some white, which I think I'm going to add just a little bit of some white marks through here. See how that looks. Again, scraping back in makes it more subtle. You can tell they're there, but they're not. It's not going to be the focus of what we're doing. It's almost defining these marks that we put down over here. I'm just loving this technique, guys. I love just squeezing the paint from the tube. I think it's just so fun. More white, maybe, just to lighten up that area just a little bit. Ooh, I kind of like that. I'm gonna leave that mark. I was gonna blend it in, but I kind of like it the way it is. We probably need a little bit more over here too, for whatever this area is up here. So I want you guys to, if you try this, make sure you just have fun with it. If you try this squeezing paint technique. I've got this sort of purpley color here, maroon almost. And I want to just add some little pops of red because I think it needs just a little bit of something. I don't want too much of it. In fact, I just covered it all up. But you can see how we can blend the pastels to be real subtle and to layer onto our work. It can be brighter in some spots and less in others. But I think that really adds a little bit of pops of color, which are nice. I love a pop of color, as you guys know. Ooh, I like it. I like this line. Again, I was going to blend it in, but I think I'm just going to leave it because I think that kind of adds something to it a little bit. I might want a little bit more of this yellow. Again, we're not trying to cover up everything we did. We're just trying to enhance it. Because sometimes, I don't know about you, but watercolor can feel a bit flat to me, and it can feel very matte, which it is. Sometimes I just want to boost up a color a little bit and give it a little bit more depth in there. And I think we've kind of achieved that a little bit. And it also gives your work some different textures, and it makes people kind of wonder, like, what is on there? Like, what is it? Like, because you don't normally see watercolor with oil pastels. So it kind of separates you a little bit. It kind of makes the work more original. And I'm just going to continue to add color because I like how this is looking. And again, that's one of the things that I do. I don't really come in with a idea in mind. I kind of just work from what the work gives me. I'm trying to decide if I like this white space over here. I think I'm going to leave it for now. A little bit more of the red. Okay, that's probably enough. Might want to add some marks, some black marks. So I'm just going to take a black pastel. I'm going to make some marks here on our deli paper. I just want to bring some black through here a little bit. I think first I want to make sort of some horizontal lines, and then just a few scribbly black marks. So this is a technique that we usually use with, oh, that's nice. I like that. The Caran d'Ache, but it also works with oil pastels. If you have oil pastels on your paper, you're going to notice it's a little sticky. You can kind of hear it sticking a little bit. But it still works. Like, I think that's really cool. You might want to do like just a really thin marks, barely putting any pressure on there. Okay. All right, let me think about this for a minute. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of white through here. I just wanted to kind of define this area just a little bit more to kind of make it make sense, kind of work our way through. Okay, let's look at it with a mat. Okay, here it is with the mat. I really like starting off the way we did with putting the watercolor straight from the tube onto the wet paper. I think it really did some fun things. I love all of this in the Payne's Gray through here. You can see it granulated a little bit into these little blue parts. That's just part of the paint. I didn't add any blue. But when it gets more water on it, it tends to bring out those colors. I didn't actually realize that color was a bit granulating, but it's kind of nice. I like the scraping back in. Now I brought this blue down through here. Love all of these pastel marks, I think. The scraping back in to the pastel, to the watercolor, the bold black marks, that little hint of red, purplish color is really nice. I like the bark Inktense pencil through there and the white pops. Overall, I'm very happy with this one. I think it turned out really nice. It's a fun technique. I'm going to keep playing around with it, and I'll probably do one more video at least about this idea. Maybe we can bring in another layer of something. I'm not quite sure what. But yeah, let me know if you want to try this. Let me know your thoughts. If you think this is a good idea, if you think it's a bad idea. Is it something that you would never use? But yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much. Bye.